it's Lily. So today I want to talk about this quote that it's really one of my all-time favorites. I know that sometimes that quote might come across as maybe might offend some people. What this quote says, it's a quote from Bill Gates that says, "If you're born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, then that is your fault." And I completely agree with this quote. The money nowadays, like doing side hustles besides your regular day job, is so easy nowadays. And I don't think people realize that. I don't think people keep up with the times as much as they should. Working towards increasing my sources of income. I do have a day job. Obviously, that's the job that pays my bills, right? And I also do like little flipping side gigs. I always like to have like a little nest egg so that way I'm not just living paycheck to paycheck all the time. And I'm looking towards increasing my sources of income. My favorite entrepreneurs, his name is Gary Vaynerchuk. He actually gave this really awesome tip that said, just go on Craigslist, find like the free stuff section, get something that, is decent and just resell it. And there, you made some extra cash. It's so easy nowadays to make money. It's so easy nowadays. Like, for example, if your dream is to become famous, I mean, we live in an era of social media and literally people from all the way across the globe can notice you now. Before, when we didn't have the internet, really it was you were limited to just your local area. Now you can reach thousands of people, millions of people with just a click of a button, with just your phone. Like, how amazing is that? And yet I find that people still make excuses as to why they can't make more money. Things that I learned is that excuses are just that, they're excuses. They're not facts. And I think that we're still stuck in the idea of making up excuses as to why we cannot do things. And the reason why I say excuses are just excuses is because my dad, he actually worked for a dealership when I was little for about 15 years, and he wanted to make more money, and it just wasn't cutting it anymore. So he's decided to start his own side business, and eventually he quit his job and dedicated himself to that business. He has been in business for about 15 years, a little over 15 years now, and he has improved financially in such a way that we never would have imagined. The things that happened, the things that we had 15 years ago, I never would imagine he would get this far. And it was at a time where he didn't really know how to speak English. He didn't have much of a clientele. I mean, he didn't really believe in the internet. He didn't really use it. He wasn't really interested in it. He actually barely got a smartphone a few years ago because he still thought that it wasn't important. And he didn't have the internet to advertise his business and all that stuff, and yet he still was able to make a name for himself, and he's very successful now, and I'm very proud of my dad. It got into my head that if he was able to do it with all those limitations, there's no reason why I can't do it, or why you can't do it too. I think that we really need to realize the power that we have in our hands with our smartphones and computers, and realize that it's so easy. All you need is a little effort and willingness to learn. Let me know what you think in the comments below.